Hey, what's up, guys? Today we'll talk about how should you invest during a recession. Today we'll talk about is it safe to invest during a recession, real world result of invest in a recession, and what to invest in during a recession. Okay, let's start. A recession refers to a period of declining GDP and is generally defined as a sustained decline for two or more consecutive quarters. Recessions are just about poor economic growth. They are often economic by several other characteristics: widespread job loss and fewer available jobs and more government relief, sinks simulation payment in crisis, unemployment behinds. With all that in mind, you may wonder if investing is a good idea if we're in a recession or are headed in that regard. It is wiser to take every dollar you make and keep it in cash. Is it safe to invest during a recession? During a recession, stock value often declines in salary. That's bad news for an existing portfolio, yet leaving investments alone means not looking in recession really closing by sign. What more, lower stock values offer a solid opportunity to invest in the cheap, relatively speaking. As such, investing during a recession can be a good idea, but only under the following circumstances. You have plenty of emergency savings. You should always aim to have enough money in the bank to cover 3 to 6 months of living expenses, with the latter end of that range being more ideas of either and have extra money at your disposal. You can feel free to invest it. If not, be sure to build a solid emergency funds first. You are not planning to touch your portfolio for the last 7 years. Investing during a recession isn't for the faint of heart. You may think you're buying at a low only to see your portfolio value declines a few days later. It's the best way to avoid losses in a recession and come out ahead is to take a long-term approach to investing. Plan on leaving your money alone for at least 7 years. You are not going to obsessively check your portfolio when the economy is not bad shape and there's loss of stocks market movement. You may be more inclined to log on to your brokerage account every day and see how your portfolio is doing. But if you are going to invest during a recession, you simply can't do that. The more you check up on your investments, the more likely you are to panic. And when you panic, you risk making rich decisions, such as unloading poorly performing stocks that force you to lock in losses. It can be a great idea to invest during a recession, but only if you're a strong enough financial position to do so, and only if you have the right potential and approach. You should never compromise your near-term financial security for long-term gain. Remember that you are hurting financially. There is no shame in missing out on opportunities. Instead, focus on paying your bills and staying physicals and mentally healthy. You can always ramp up your investments at a later point in life once your job is more secure, your earning steady, and your mind is more at easy on the whole. Real world result of investing in a recession. Long-term investors who put money to work during a recession have done pretty well over time. Looking at data from 3 years and recession prior to the COVID-19 pandemic, the Great Recession from 2007 for 2009, the recession in 2001, followed by the dot-com crash and the 9 for 11 attacked at the 19 91 recessions that followed, along economic expansive in the 1980s. This you might be represented as a long-term result, even if investors' timing wasn't perfect. If you invest in the market lowest point during a recession, you are likely going to do quite well over time. But one thing investors should realize is that trying or to time the market is almost always a losing battle. There's no crystal, but that can tell you when the market will bottom. In other words, you are not going to invest at the absolutely perfect time. But you don't have to, even if you had invested in S&P 500 index fund at the worst possible moment in 2007, the market peak before the financial crisis began, you would have achieved and 8.4% annualized return in the 30 years since. If you had bought at the highs before the 1994-91 recession, you would have achieved 9.8% annualized return in the nearly 30 years since. Consider what this means. If you had invested 10,000 money in a standard S&P 500 index fund at the worst possible time during the 1990-91 recession, your investments would have grown to more than $150,000 in value today, assuming the values were reinvested along the way. What to invest during a recession? In the last section, we mentioned index funds, and those can be a great way to invest recession or not. By first-selling index funds, especially S&P 500 index funds, you are betting on the long-term success of USA business. Over long periods of time, that's been a pretty solid bet. However, we completely understand that many people reading this prefer to invest in individual stocks. The best investment strategy is in any environment is to find good businesses and hold to them for so long as they remain good businesses, but this focus on quality is especially important in recession. As an example, during the COVID-19 pandemic, a successful recession, companies in affected industries that had stronger balance sheets going into the crisis had an advantage over those that didn't. Companies with the financial flexibility to services long description started to look like excellent long-term investments opportunity, while companies with otherwise good businesses but low liquidity were among the hardest hit stocks, and some didn't survive. Okay, that's all. Goodbye.